Well, I've been drinking since noon and I've got I always wanted someone to say that. But actually, I'm a little giddy from so many people saying such nice things. It's really not something we're used to. I hadn't seen the video until now, of course. Mike Heaton, you give me way too much credit. I think what I said was, you should hire this guy. He's really good. And then subsequently they said, hey, you're really on the wall. They can know that. So that's how that worked. My first newspaper job, and no, I'm not going to go through all of them. I promise it's stay under 45 minutes. My first newspaper job was setting type by hand with tweezers on a newspaper I started on our street, probably about a year after I learned to read. I wrote the stories, I wrote the headlines, I put it together, and I delivered. I did everything. I charged no money for it. I gave it away. And I don't know who would have guessed that 50 years later, that would be our business model. I was way out front. But it's true about that paper. And Tim Taylor, my favorite anchor, not just because it's here, Tim Taylor did the same thing when he was a kid growing up in Bedford. And I know because I wrote the story when the press club inducted him a few years ago. And I really never thought that, I never imagined that I would be telling my story one day, which isn't as good as Tim's. And I never imagined that I would be in his company and that of the other current and past inductees. I'm surprised, I'm humbled, I am more honored and moved really than you can even know. And in this business, the way I learned it, we listen, we watch, we tell stories, we tell the truth, and we try to keep ourselves out, stay out of the way. And being noticed for that is really quite overwhelming. I can really like to accept, for all the people who do what we do without much notice, because we lean on each other in this business, and I know I've leaned on a lot of people who are in this room tonight. And I thank every one of you. Thank the Press Club, President Ed Byers. We shared a lot of stories over the years. Stuart Warner, the award czar, was a gifted editor, Touchstone, and friend. Mark DeWitziak on the video. Mark's like a natural resource. He just published his 12th book, and I'm touched that he took time to write about me in the program tonight. Bonnie Godby also, she knows why. Normally, at an event like this, I'm just happy to have someone to sit with. This is different. So if you would indulge me for a moment, my wife Amy is here, and she has suffered me for more than 30 years and gave us Megan, Spencer, Christopher, and Caroline. I remember all of them. And that's real treasure, and thank you. I am blessed that my parents are both here, Tom and Adeline. They just recently celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. 60 years. Obviously, they waited many years until late in life to get a family. It's worth a shot. My mother's sister, my Aunt Mary, has been a cheerleader for all my life. Thank you. My brother Tim, whom I slept with to borrow the Bill Cosby expression and or line. He is a prince who's always been there. Andrea, I love you with him, who has brought much joy to the family. And also Sue Klein, newsroom secretary, who does anything for everybody, and we give her only love. After 29 years at the Plain Dealer, there are really too many people to mention, sadly. But John Starks is here, and editors Deborah Simmons and Tom Flatting. And I thank them for the environment they've created and for letting me do work that I love. Publisher Terry Egger, thank you for keeping the doors open and the presses rolling, and for signing the checks. Go Cards, by the way. Publishers, David Gray and company also mentioned you. David, thank you, all the folks, for giving me an excuse to spend more time with some of the broadcasters I've had the good fortune to know over the years, and a way to tell stories that their stories that wouldn't fit into the newspaper. One of those people, Dick Goddard, started at Channel 3 in 1961. It was the same year that another one, Big Chuck Shadowski, started at Channel 8. And that was the same year I started my neighborhood newspaper. So they've had great careers, and I paid attention, is what it comes down to. If I'm lucky, maybe I get another 50 years to do that, and maybe with another 50 years, I can feel truly deserving of this great honor. Thank you very much.